Okay, good afternoon, Kwame. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Now, as part of this course, I'm interviewing different people about their walks with woundedness and their pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how they identified that they were in pain and then what they did about it. And as you've come through the other side of that pain, what does it feel like? So over to you, Kwame.
Okay, well, thank you for having me and thank you for the opportunity for this interview. Where did it start? It started for me when I was a child. My father and my mother broke up when I was very young, about 6 or 7. I then ended up living with my father. My mother was gone out of our lives because it was me and my brother. I then ended up living in the Caribbean, in Jamaica to be particular. And it was growing up, being around dad, there was no female around really as such. My father didn't remarry. And it so happened that that was the first time that I really had any trauma, so to speak, in my life, was the breaking up of my parents. Now, there was no opportunity to heal from that because, as families were at the time, and probably still are, there's no outlet, there's no forum, there's no way that we heal and or take someone through that, especially children, through that type of experience. And I didn't have that. Myself and my brother didn't have any of that. Anyway, I came back to the UK. But as a young man, ended up living with my mom, but that didn't last very long because not growing up with my mother, that relationship then became fraught and we ended up breaking up again. So that was almost like a second side kind of trauma. In between, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing and going to college, university, getting a job and all that kind of stuff. But it's later on now, like a couple of years ago, and in between all of that, I've been having relationships, being married, being divorced, but not realizing what is causing the things to break down as they were at the time. It was only a couple of years ago when I met a beautiful person who came into my life and things started to manifest themselves. Now I love this person that much, or so much, wanted to give this person my all, wanted to be with this person for the rest of my life, that I took a decision of stepping away from that. And it hurt a lot, because I love this person. But the fact of the matter is that there were things that had taken place before. There were a lot of signs. Weren't aware of them, because like I said, I was being distracted by doing other things. And it's only as I started to have my own self-development, I started to realize that there's certain things about myself that I need to come to terms with, especially the fact that my parents had broken up. And then rebuilding the relationship of that particular trauma with my mother, which I did. But there was something still hidden, which I didn't realize and didn't know until it manifested itself in this particular relationship. So it's things that I was running away from. I was running away from confrontation, running away from communicating, running away from opening up and just saying how I'm feeling inside, and not being afraid to say so. I was afraid of saying what was affecting me. But, simple things, and funny the thing that and the way it manifested itself was just about, for example, like a tool, which money is, and it was just that tool that brought out elements of what was hidden. And it was an issue around money that we had, or I had. So the relationship became fraught. And then what happened was, because of the tension, and because I realized that there's something that wasn't right with me, I needed to pull away. I made the decision. It wasn't a we decision, it was my decision, because I felt that this is something I had to do for me. And I decided that this is the person I loved and wanted to spend the rest of my life with, but I had to pull away. And that's what I did. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. It hurt, and there's aspects in terms of, let's say someone comes into your life for a particular reason to show you what you need to see, and I've been shown what I need to see at that time, and it hurts because I wanted to be with this person for the rest of my life. Anyway, it so happened that I was referred to a counselor, and I went counseling, and it was in the counseling sessions that we identified what was hidden, and it so happened that it wasn't even the fact that I always thought that it was my mother not being a part of my life, when in actual fact the issue was the relationship I had with my father, or my father having a relationship with me. And that's what came out in terms of all the negative behaviors, because my father, to a great extent, I love him dearly, but there's elements of him that are me, obviously, and the things that weren't addressed at the time, which needed to be addressed as I was growing up as a man. But obviously he didn't know, but that's something I know now. And looking back, it hurts, but it's also empowering, because I've now come to realize that in order for me to move on from what that pain was, or what was hidden at the time, is I had to take full responsibility, which I did, And even though the method which I did the way I did it, looking back, probably I would have done it differently, but it happened at the time because that's all I knew to do it at the time. And now moving on from that, I can say that I am now more at peace with who I am. I know what I want, and I'm very clear. I can communicate on how I'm feeling. I can say there's no facade and no hiding. I can say this is how I'm feeling at this point in time. This is where I'm at this point in time, and whether somebody can take that with from their particular standpoint. So I'm more empowered. I'm loving me even more. I'm not afraid to tell how I'm feeling inside. I'm not afraid to ask questions or to say or to communicate that element of me or those parts of me. So it's been great and it's wonderful and yeah, the manifestations have been great and I'm more at peace than I've ever been.